of his eye. Sit right down, we're gonna give you the scoop with Ryan Pfeiffer and Lisa Doop. Shamma-lamma ding-dong loop-de-loop. This is the story of a guy named Mr. Boop.
You're listening to Being Mr. Boop. One of the hosts' names rhymes.
Which
My name is
one?
Ryan Pfeiffer,
We'll never tell.
and I'm Ryan Pfeiffer. so you be the judge. Does that rhyme? I'm Mr. Boop.
And I'm Lisa Knifer. Ryan?
Huh.
It's Tuesday. Oh wait, you go.
Knifer.
You go. Sorry. Force of habit.
It's what you said. Yeah, it's also September 1st, 2020. Oh god. How many more days? We're getting close up to... today we're reading the 161st ever Mr. Boop strip. What happens in today's Mr. Boop?
Well, I think the actual strip ended on January 1st, 2021. But we end this podcast in September. It's probably what you're getting mixed up.
No.
What?
I was thinking of 9/11.
Oh, and 9/11. I was like, how many days until we're done? Ooh, that's what I'm
The
thinking
calendar isn't updated. Is there an episode on 9/11?
Let me see.
There is. Lisa, what happens?
In today's Mr. Boop. Holy shit, Homestuck.
What? Homestuck? Oh, God. Okay, let's see what he does with this. 4 panels. I was looking forward to being able to having a reason to talk about Homestuck, but now that I'm actually at this strip,
Yeah, I don't like this.
Oh God, we have to fucking.
We have to talk about
read a Homestuck strip. This is great. In the context of Mr. Boop, it's an interesting little thing that happens. But in the context of this podcast, it's like, oh God, we gotta fucking talk about this. Okay.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, no good.
So, panel 1, we have Carcat
Vankus.
Vankus?
Yeah, Vankus.
Vankus? Okay.
What?
We have Jesus Christ and
Vantas.
Vantas, that's what it is. Carcat Vantas and John and Zoo Smell
Poop Lord. Yeah.
Lord.
Hey, try again, asshole. Try again.
John Egbert.
I'm sorry. That's the lamest thing I've ever done. I'm sorry.
The timing made it work out. The timing was good, so it actually worked out. Carcat's swinging his legs. He doesn't have arms. They're hidden.
Mm-hmm. You need to retrieve them.
His eyes are kind of crossed. He's drawn almost as if this is Homestuck. If anyone. Do we have to explain any of this? How much of this do we have to explain? Homestuck is a webcomic.
You see, well, not according to Wikipedia, it's a web experience.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. No, internet fiction series.
No, if you want to say that about 17,776, yeah, sure, because there's no Homestuck's a comic, whatever. I don't care.
Well, it says internet fiction, so I don't know about it. I don't know what it is.
Then again, would you call Diary of a Wimpy Kid a comic?
No.
Yeah, me neither. So it's interesting, because I would not call Diary of a Wimpy Kid a graphic novel, even though that's how it's often defined. I would call Homestuck a webcomic, even though it's kind of less of a comic than Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I don't know. But it's the format. It's the format is the thing.
I mean, that is what we're discussing, yes.
The way it's formatted, the site and everything, it's a webcomic. I don't care if it's not.
Anyway, Homestuck is a piece of internet fiction.
No, it's a webcomic. And
it can't be both. Anyway, that's not.
There's
This
characters
isn't what we're
there's
discussing.
there's some characters in it. Some of them are trolls. Some of them are little chess piece guys. Some
Listen.
of them are like.
You guys know what
Fucking-
Homestuck is. We don't need to tell you. You know.
Some of them are sprites. What are they called?
Yeah, sprites. That's sprites.
Sprite. No, it's something else. Something sprites.
No, that's sprites. You're right.
They're just called sprites.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Can we do a Homestuck?
I'd like to.
Just
do a
kidding.
Homestuck
God,
podcast.
that would be the worst thing in the world.
No. I mean, we wouldn't be we wouldn't just be reading everything. We could just like talk about it. Oh, yeah. It's
That would
interesting.
also that would be awful.
No.
Because for one thing, how many Homestuck podcasts do you think there are? There are probably a bunch, and they're probably, no offense, they're probably all really bad.
I reckon that's about.
Huh?
I reckon there's about 4.
That seems like a good estimate. And I bet they're all not very good because I bet the people who host them are fans of Homestuck. So that makes it not good. Well, anyway, Carcat is swinging his legs back and forth. We don't see his arms. Yeah. And Homestuck is like a parody of Homestuck that's within Homestuck. Anyway, this is what he kind of looks like here a little bit.
I mean, the
He's got
Homestuck characters, they have stick legs. They don't have you know, they don't have.
Yeah,
fully
well,
drawn legs.
that's how I said kind of. He's got a big square speech bubble.
Mm-hmm. He's
Should we
dressed in
draw
his, like,
straws?
his-
Who
his,
has
like,
to do the
default
Carcat
outfit.
voice?
He's dressed.
Carcat is the least.
I'll do it.
The voice
yeah,
here that I would least want to do. You're gonna do it?
I'll do it.
Okay. Make sure to scream.
Fuck this, Egbert! Fuck this! I know I said I wanted this, but I literally don't want to do this anymore with everyone watching.
It's good. It's good. What is this? This feels like The Baby Is You. This feels like
that's probably where
more
I
like
got
The
that
Baby
from.
Is.
That's just like the
baby-
Carcat.
No, not the voice.
just like
Just
the
this
Carcat
comic.
voice I had in my
This
head.
strip feels more like The
Oh.
Baby Is You than Homestuck. The Baby Is
That's
The Baby Is You is a parody fan fiction musical
Toby
made by
Fox.
the creator of Undertale. That's all we need to say about that.
It's hilarious. It's great. I came as quickly as
John
I could.
Egbert, the protagonist of Homestuck, arguably, he's got one arm out.
But don't forget,
towards
he's
Carcat.
dressed in his god spirit. Is it god spirit?
Yeah, that's an important
Yeah.
detail. He's wearing his Seer of Wind outfit or whatever.
No. Air of breath. Air of breath, my man.
Air of breath. Same, whatever. He's smirking a little bit, and he's got his speech bubble says, "It's fine. It'll be fine."
That's a good voice. That's a good tune.
Nerd voice. You got the same voice as Mr. Broop.
Yeah.
Not really. Panel
Yeah,
2.
it's fine.
Panel 2. More Homestuck characters.
Mm.
Rose Lalonde. Mayor.
Yeah, whatever.
Vriska. And on the top of the panel, we see Beck Sprite. That's his name, right? Beck?
Yeah, sure. I forget what
Hang on.
that specific version of that character is called. You know.
It's not Beck Sprite. Hang on. Pause. Oh yeah, because it.
It's
Is
combined
this?
with Jan-
This is. It's Beck Noir.
Beck Noir. Yeah.
That's what is. Beck Noir is at the top of the screen.
We see it floating in.
Rose. What does Rose say? Rose has a speech bubble.
I apologize, Carcat, but it's the only option.
Beck has a thought bubble too. It's tiny to fit into the frame, even though it's like kind of going out of the
Doesn't
frame.
even-
What does it say?
This is happening at the same time as Mr. Boop. In the same canon. That's true.
So,
Mr. Boop and
which is not. I don't think which is to say Homestuck is happening in the same canon as Mr. Boop, but these specific paradox space events.
Yeah, this Doom timeline also
these paradox space events are happening in the same canon as Mr. Boop. This is a very different Homestuck timeline because no one else exists in Homestuck, right? Like it's just these guys.
Yeah, Grime.
All the other humans are dead or whatever.
You know, this is a very specific act of Homestuck that this is taking place in, like visually.
I don't think it is.
No, because it's when Grimedark Rose is around, which is like specifically Act 3.
But
right?
I think all of these characters together in the same place
interact.
with all these different. I think it's just kind of picking and choosing.
Yeah, but it's interesting because it kind of gives an insight. Like it's like maybe Alec is like, yeah, no, I like the Act 3 designs, or maybe he didn't.
Do you think he's read Homestuck?
I think he might have read up to Act 3. You know?
Yeah, I do think he's read some of Homestuck. I'm not sure if he's actually a fan or if he just thinks this would be a funny thing to reference.
No,
like
I think he'd be a fan. I think this seems like something that a fan.
I think it's honestly, it could go either way. Vriska has a speech bubble too. The mayor does not, because
I think fans of not Homestuck don't typically reference Homestuck.
Well, but he's savvy, you know. He knows about internet things, and this he just oh, this is a
but even then, when you look up, like these are specific, like you wouldn't know the mayor if you just knew about Homestuck, right?
I feel like these are characters you could have found out about through like osmosis, through just absorbing like other people talking about Homestuck. Like, oh yeah, I've seen this dog guy. I know he's a big character in Homestuck, so I'll put him in there.
He knows the writing styles of the characters as well.
You mean their text patterns? I mean, I feel like. Yeah. But you can just know that they talk in specific ways and copy that.
I think you're going through a lot of hoops to say that Alec Robbins doesn't like.
I don't think so. I think this is plausible.
No. I mean plausible, but not likely. I don't think it's.
I think it's as likely. Maybe not as likely, but I think it could go either way.
Let's read through the rest of the strip.
Vriska's speech bubble says, "Yeah, dude, quit being."
Yes, Ryan?
Yeah, dude, quit ADing 880. 3 electro points.
This next one will be hard.
There's 8s in that. And she also says, and you wonder why we all hate you. 3 electro points. There's an 8 in there too. Panel 3. We just see Dave Strider doing a little
French model pose type thing.
Yeah. Draw me like one of your
French skills. I think I want to. Oh yeah, whatever. And
he's blushing a little bit, and he's smiling, and he's got a what does his speech bubble say?
Yeah, Carcat, come on, please, just suck me off. Panel 4.
Panel 4 is black.
Okay, I have an interest.
Clearly a reference to
the song. Right? The song from the Homestuck soundtrack, Black.
Oh, sure. That works.
Okay, someone didn't listen to the Homestuck soundtrack religiously.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't. Why would I do that?
It informed my music taste, so I'll just say that.
I mean, I listened to a few tracks. I liked a few tracks. What was that? Suburban Jungle? I like that one.
That's classic.
That's a good one.
Black is the one that's like do 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 do.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
it's been so long. I still need to finish it. I would not want to do a Homestuck podcast. Have you read all the way through?
Yeah. I didn't read the outros or whatever it is, epilogues. because
I wouldn't want
I
to do a
got
Homestuck podcast, but I would do a Homestuck book club.
oh, that would be fun.
Has Sophia read Homestuck?
No, I don't know if I could get her to, but maybe.
It's true. You could tell her it's like Peanuts.
It is like
Just by look at the characters, dude. It's Peanuts. Yeah. Do you think? I'm gonna Google Homestuck Peanuts.
no doubt there's Homestuck Peanuts sound like banner.
First thing that came up is a panel from Homestuck of John eating peanuts. I forgot. Is he allergic? I guess he's
he
allergic.
appears to be allergic, severely. Oh yes, no, that was a thing. Like, cause that was the prank right early on where he was like, "Oh, my dad pranked me by putting these fake peanuts, knowing that if I ate real ones, I'd die." You remember that? Vaguely.
I barely remember anything ever.
There.
Yeah.
There is also a can of peanuts on the desk. Haha. Oh, Dad, you won't be fooling for that one again.
Don't read
anytime soon.
Homestuck right
a
now.
severe
Come
peanut
on.
allergy is a terrible affliction to cope with.
Don't do this.
I was just reading that one line. Don't give me a second.
That's more than anyone needs to hear. When I googled Homestuck Peanuts, I found
This is
one of the first results I see here is Garfield Homestuck, which is not the same thing.
Listen.
Um,
I have things to say about this one.
about yeah, okay, go for it. I'm interested in hearing what you have to say.
Okay. So
once.
I was dreading reading this one because I get really, I don't know about anyone else, I get really uncomfortable with characters who are minors being in sexual situations. Yeah.
I mean, that's
normal.
I was thinking about that. I wasn't sure if we should touch on that,
But this is reading it actually. Yeah, I've been swayed the other way.
I mean, this is just what Homestuck is like
exactly.
a lot of the
That's
time.
what I think. This isn't like an actual like they're about to have a serious orgy. That is bullying Carcat in like a funny way. You know, it's just like obviously Dave doesn't actually want Carcat to suck him off.
I don't know if that is obvious, but
That's how I read it.
well, either way, I mean that is just basically what Homestuck is like, kind of
true.
an exaggerated
They do
version of it.
just
But
well, see,
I don't know. It's been so long. I haven't read Homestuck since I was a minor myself.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if rereading it now would be more uncomfortable.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. Because at the time it's just like, oh, haha, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I would maybe I think if I read Homestuck for the first time now, it would make me uncomfortable. But I think reading, having the context, I guess, of the perspective of having read it when I was around the age of the characters in the comic, I can like
yeah, you can figure. Oh,
kind of.
That's how I was.
Well, no.
That's just
but,
like you would see characters.
I mean,
like,
I mean, yeah, because because that was something I liked about Homestuck is it did feel just like it felt not realistic, but it's like this is how kids on the internet talk to each other, I guess. So, and yeah, but it's weird, I guess, but it's accurate. That's a good aspect of it. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to talk about Homestuck in another grade. It's a really weird thing.
Yeah.
I
like it.
I do like,
Oh, that was something I wanted to say.
I like Homestuck. I don't like Homestuck.
There's Homestuck and Homestuck.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Homestuck, nods, smiles, and Homestuck.
Now there was something about this I also wanted to say. This is sort of like. This is also a statement that Alec is making on his opinions of like copyright laws, right? Because he's like, Beforehand,
I don't see that.
Let me explain myself. Beforehand, he was talking about like how he was exclusively going for things that are owned by big mega corporations, right? Like, you know, the Fleischer Studios and, you know, Titmouse and whatever. But here he's also like he's saying he's not afraid to do this to smaller.
Which one was that?
I don't know. I was just saying a random anime studio and hoping that it was the one that owns one of the ones that appeared. Anyway, but so this is him like being like.
I mean, Titmouse is pretty modern.
Whatever. This is him like being like. You know. Also.
I don't think Titmouse owns anything.
In my it was like, you know, in my idealized copyright-free version of the world. Also, I should be allowed to do this with Homestuck characters. You know.
I don't know. I guess I have a little bit of a different interpretation of this comic as a whole. I think you and a lot of people, and maybe I'm just not seeing it, but they take the copyright stuff as like a lot more intentional, a lot more like of an actual like big statement, as opposed to when I see a lot of it in this, I just think he's kind of goofing around.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of reading into like the concept of copyright abolishment, like the whole movement behind that, and I feel like it's more of an actual thought out thing than I thought, and I'm like, you know, maybe that's where he's coming from.
Well, I think even if he is into those sort of ideas, I don't know. I still don't know if I read that into the comic as a because the comic does not.
It's not
feel like it's making any big statements like that.
No.
And particularly here, I think he really just thought Homestuck would be a funny thing to reference.
But I feel like
I think that's the same thing with Garfield in the last strip. You could definitely make the case for Mickey, and I think that's in the text, is that Mickey being referenced is like like in your face copyright thing, but with a lot of the stuff in here, it's just kind of part of the world itself that like funny characters from fiction will show up. Yeah, it's like that's like saying I mean, it's not really the same thing, but because these are licensed, but like if in Chippendale or Who Framed Roger Rabbit or whatever, the characters showing up in that is like a statement on
that's true
copyright. But that's obviously very different because those are all licensed.
Yeah. I feel like, well, if it's not a critique on, you know, copyright, I feel like it's sort of like a love letter to fanfic, or the concept of that, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, and
I feel like
there's always been a bit of that, because and we said that from the beginning, because like with Tails Gets Trolled and whatever, that sort of stuff.
And like, my sudden want to discuss this just comes from the fact that I've perhaps indulged a bit too much into like, you know, serious analysis of Mr. Boop, and I'm like, maybe I can.
Probably you have.
I'm like, maybe I can.
We're supposed to be the ones making up serious analysis of this not so serious thing.
Yeah.
Anyone else writing speaking of copyright infringement, anyone else creating serious analysis of Mr. Boop, we're coming for you. Don't think you're safe. This is our territory, all right? Back off. Back the fuck off.
But no, I kind of just did it to give myself the confidence to talk about it in a serious way. You know what I mean? Or at least I just did it out of interest.
The strip in general, or
no? I mean, like, no, just like this. Yeah. So I saw Sophia showed me a video essay on Mr. Boop, and then I read a bunch of articles on. See,
I would try to stay away from stuff like that. Personally.
But then I read a bunch of articles, and I was like, no, I can talk about Mr. Boop. You know what I mean? Because I was kind of feeling a little bit doubtful.
In what regard?
Just like, I don't know if I just kind of was feeling like 160 episodes of Mr. Boop and we haven't said a goddamn thing, you know? I was like, maybe I can say something.
I don't think we've said much less than Chris and John have said about
That's true.
Garfield in 1,000 episodes.
That's true. But I feel like there is something to talk about there, though. More than there is with Garfield.
I mean, we do. I honestly, I feel like sometimes we get too much into it
That's true.
because, I mean, considering what being Davis is like, obviously we're doing a different thing here. It's a different type of strip, but like,
They're not reading the Phantom 3 panels at a time.
we're not. Maybe that's what we should have done. The format doesn't really lend itself to serious analysis, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. True.
Anyway, I like Homestuck. Here's what I'll say that helps make that look less bad for me. I prefer Problem Sleuth. Problem Sleuth, I think, is unironically amazing. There's nothing wrong with liking Problem Sleuth at all. And Problem Sleuth.
You heard it here first, Ryan Pfeiffer. There's nothing wrong with liking Problem Sleuth.
I haven't read that in a while, and hopefully there's nothing there that's gonna bite me.
Okay. By the way, also, this might be interesting for our debate on whether or not Alec is a fan of this. The shadow synopsis reads, "Long live Homestuck." Could go either way.
Still, yeah, a little bit. Still could be either way. I mean, I think that at least shows that he has a respect for how for Homestuck as an internet thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that shows that at least.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean, and I do think he's read a little bit of it.
Long live Homestuck.
Like,
I mean, Homestuck has sort of like become more. It's like almost morphed itself into a franchise, you know? I mean, it is a franchise, I guess, at this point. It also, like, it's a video game, it's a spin-off comic, it's a, you know... I don't know what I'm saying. I guess the term long live Homestuck... I mean, Homestuck's over, but it's never really over, right? What pumpkin will never let Homestuck
I guess.
stop?
They still need to finish Hive... Whatever,
Hive
right?
Swap.
What is it fucking called?
I never finished
Hive
Hive
what?
Swap either, but
Hive Swap?
yeah, Hive Swap.
Hive...
Swap.
Yes, Hive Swap. I only own Act 1. Why is Act 2 twice as expensive?
I don't know. Maybe it's twice as long or something.
It's not over? There still needs to be like Act 3?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what's going on there?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, it looks really fun. I really want to
Yeah, it's a
play
nice
it, but I need to
point-and-click thing.
finish Homestuck first. Anyway, don't read Homestuck.
Don't read Homestuck.
I actually, and I'm not just joking. It's too long. Not worth it. Don't read Homestuck unless you really, really, really want to, and you avoid looking at anything about it online.
Don't read Homestuck, guys.
Do read Problem Sleuth. Problem Sleuth is very much worth it. Buy all the Problem Sleuth books.
Read
Actually, don't do that
Quest.
because I want to buy them and
Read
they're going
Bard
to
Quest, guys.
sell out. Huh?
Bard Quest. Read Bard Quest.
Bard Quest is whatever.
Yeah.
Problem Sleuth is his magnum opus. A fully complete. Jesus. Okay, here's why you read Problem Sleuth instead of Homestuck. Problem Sleuth, 1,700 pages. Seems like a lot, but it's doable. Homestuck, about 8,000 pages.
Yeah.
And each page is about 10 times as long as every Problem Sleuth page. On average. So, there you go. You've been listening to Being Mr. Boop, or as we say here in the UK, Being Mr. Boop.
Being Mr. Boop.
Being Mr.
Oi,
Boop.
Boop! Get over here!
Being Mr. Boop.
Mr. Boop. Oh.
As we say here in the UK, Being Mr. Boop.
Some say there is a little magic in every strip.
You can visit the show's website at www.beingmrboob.com for a full catalog of episodes and to sign up to host the podcast. For more updates, follow at MrBoobPod on Twitter. Thank you and good night. Say it.
Merci.
Well, married to the world famous Betty Boop. She was what a lucky guy. So in love, might make you puke. She's the apple of his eye. Sit right down, we're gonna give you the scoop with Ryan Pfeiffer and Lisa Dupe. Shamma-lamma ding-dong loop-de-loop. This is the story of a guy named Mr. Boop.
This podcast was brought to you by the Pitch Drop Podcast Network. Like what you just heard? Support the show by going to patreon.com/pitchdrop. And while you're at it, check out pitchdrop.net for more of this and other shows.